Hey Gilbert, got an economics video. Want to go over with you. Um, and I'm going to use the industry that I work in, the HVAC industry. Here's some of the units we used to install in the 80s. I installed in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Been through so many different generations of changes in the HVAC industry. There's another manufacturer, I won't put the name, that we distribute or that we're a dealer of. And I want to compare it today. I want to talk about those are American manufacturers. This one is made in Mexicali in Northern California. I think this one is in South Korea. And I'm going to show you some numbers and we're going to be just talking about ductless. But remember when we were kids and we used to watch Bugs Bunny and he said, if you can't beat them, join them? And that's what we used to always say, that you can't beat them, join them. Well, that's what I've been doing lately. I can't beat them. You can't beat them. The Chinese and the Mexicans are killing us in business. They're killing us in business. Now, you get somebody who goes to college or university and studies, maybe works for Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or Joe Biden. They don't know what the hell you're talking about because they have their theories. They have their, they study in books, but they don't actually put down the money. They don't open their wallet and buy these units and sell these units and pay the sales taxes. For example, just this unit, when I go to the parts house, the first thing I do as a contractor every day of my life, since I was 24 years old in Arizona, I pay the sales tax is the first thing I do. I pay sales tax. When you have imports from Mexico or China, there's no sales tax. Many times there's no sales tax if you're just bringing them across the border. So the state loses. Everybody loses. Everybody loses. But I want to talk about you can't beat them, join them. So I did this mathematics percentage breakdown. And I know you love numbers. So I did this video just for you. You want to break it down. And I want to ask you, a business, I think the HVAC industry, now, most guys that don't own businesses, they will disagree with me. The guys that don't actually make payroll, the guys that don't pay workman's compensation, the guys that don't pay overhead burden, the guys that don't pay property taxes, commercial property taxes, those guys, they'll say, Jesse, you're full of shit. You're a crybaby. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But I want to do it for the people who actually work for a living. I mean, own businesses and pay taxes. I did this breakdown comparing what I pay for a unit that is done, and I'm faithful to the United States market, capitalism, the United States market, the HVAC industry, the way we do business. So I want to compare a traditional American distribution unit compared to a cheap Chinese distributed unit. So with the Chinese unit, we're eliminating the middleman. We're eliminating the middleman. Anybody and their mother can buy this unit on the internet at these rock bottom prices. I can't even match. So I buy my unit that I showed you right there by my door, my showroom model. It's a 1-ton unit, and I pay, it's 115 volt. I paid $14.90 with sales tax for it. And the cheap Chinese one I got on the internet, $465. Mine is a 17 SEER 2 R454B. That one is a 17 SEER 2 R32. They're both very comparable and they'll both do the job. The one that the Americans distribute, they have product warranty, and the dealer is certified and trained by the factory to fix them and repair them. The other units are disposable. If they break down, good luck. Wherever you buy them, good luck trying to get service. But anyways, you pay a premium. Look at the disposable Chinese unit at $465. This indicates that the USA price is more than triple the Chinese price, specifically exceeding it by 220.43%. Now, that's basic economics, and you could say, Jesse, you're wrong about this. It's less on a very comparable unit. And fine, I understand that. I'm not a mathematics. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a college educated person. I'm just a contractor who pays the bills. Just looking at the bills, it's a 220. So for the last 10 years, I've been faithful and not buying any Chinese or Mexican unit. I can't. I've been faithful to the traditional American manufacturer, distributor, dealer, homeowner network. Been faithful to it. But Bugs Bunny told me, you can't beat them, join them. So I start buying these cheap units because maybe my unit is not, maybe it's too good to go in a garage or a addition, and somebody wants a cheaper unit. And that's fine. That's what I did. They're UL listed. They'll pass a code and they'll get the job done. The plastics are cheaper. Everything's cheaper. They have no dealer support network whatsoever, but they're a lot less inexpensive. 220.43%. Now, something happened when I started selling them. I noticed that on all social media, on Facebook, on anywhere where you could sell a product online, locally, they're all over the price network. They're anywhere from $400, $500, $600, $700, $800. It's a wild, wild west out there. You don't know what you're buying. And there's millions of different brand names. But something I noticed when I presented them to the customers, when you present a cheap unit to the customer, let's say the customer knows that he can go online and buy it for $465, and you tell him it's going to take $950 to install it, or let's say you're going to invest $700 on the electrical because you got to get 240 to it. You got to get proper dedicated circuit, and it's going to cost you with electricity $1,700, which is it's feasible to see that, to install it by a licensed contractor. The homeowner who already avoided the distributor and the dealer perceives no value in the contractor's work. He perceives no value. It's already been devalued. Not only do they devalue the product, they devalue the labor. And that's why I say they're killing the American HVAC industry. Because when the homeowner sees it that he can get it online for $465, he doesn't know about overhead burden. He doesn't know about a building, electricity. He doesn't know about warranty or gasoline and trucks, insurance, property taxes. Just the property tax is about $8,000 a year on this building. But the homeowner doesn't see that. He sees $465. You're going to charge him more for your labor than he paid for the product, for a good. And that's why I say that the American capitalist system, the American market, which the HVAC industry is a part of, is superior than the communist Chinese or the Mexican labor. The system that we inherited from our fathers, the American capitalist system, the HVAC industry specifically, I don't know no other industry. I don't know the car industry. I don't know any other industry. Well, a little bit about electrical and plumbing. But my industry, the HVAC industry, is being decimated by the Chinese communists and the Mexican labor and the Mexican way of doing things. They don't perceive a value. And so there's going to be, instead of a progressive industry, it's going to be a regressive industry. Because the people will see any upgrades, they're going to perceive them as too expensive. You already started the deal at the rock bottom, 465. You already built your foundation on slave labor, practically slave labor. You already put the foundation of your price at the lowest. And so there's no wiggle room to upgrade. There is no wiggle room to upgrade. And you've chased out a generation of tradesmen who are trained in it. My God, you're at 220.43% cheaper. That's a recipe for killing an industry. And maybe it's just the HVAC residential, but the commercial guys, they're next. They're going to start selling these commercial units straight, and they're already doing it in many places, straight and so you won't need a commercial contractor. And so what that will happen is you're going to chase out great tradesmen who were brought up in the traditional manufacturer, distributor, dealer, homeowner network link. And so you'll have a third world service. You're going to demand service after the sale, but you've already killed the serviceman. You've killed the industry. We've killed it by going so cheap. Tradesmen will leave because they can't. It'll be cheaper just to have welfare money or COVID money than it would be to work. Because when these units break down, it costs a fortune. It probably costs more to service an inverter unit, change out a motor and a blower in American wages than it is to buy a brand new Chinese unit. The whole thing is flipped upside down. It's a recipe for disaster. So I wanted to share these numbers, and namely, recap. I just want to have a question. These numbers that I'm throwing at you, 220.43, are they feasible? Are they correct? Can you dissect them? I know you're good with numbers. I didn't go to school, so I'm not very good at numbers. I just pay the bills. And according to my calculation, I'm paying about 220.43% more as an American contractor compared to my Chinese, communist, and Mexican counterparts. And so my opinion is that the industry as we know it, that I grew up in and lived and worked all my life, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. The communists got the drop on us. What do you say, Gilbert?